Hello, hello.
Hi,
And we are back with Bickering with Moti and Christian.
I'm Christian.
I'm Moti, and you guys are listening to.
Bickering with Moti and Christian. Wow.
Great. Welcome back to another episode.
Wow, our third episode.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Our third.
Oh, you haven't fired me yet.
I know, you're about to get fired, actually.
Well, there's no
So,
show without me.
we are
Yes.
just going to, obviously you guys can't see this because you guys are listening, but I'm very tan, and I'm very relaxed and
Why
in
is
peace.
that?
And Christian
It's not.
is not.
Actually sick here.
He's not in peace or not tan.
Yeah.
Christian woke up cranky today, the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah. Sure.
Christian, why don't you tell us why you're so cranky?
Oh, because you were like having the best time without me. Like, it just triggered memories from last summer when you abandoned me for 3 months.
Abandon you.
Yeah, you were being a fooch in Europe without me.
Well, okay.
And then, but how was Mexico? Where were you?
Well,
Tell us.
Well, before we get into that.
¿Aprendiste algo de español ya o no sabes
Sí.
nada de español todavía?
Sí, yo entiendo
Pendejo.
más, yo hablo más. Yo, poquito bitch.
Perra. So where were you?
Actually, well, let's just like rewind because I feel like, people asked why you weren't on the trip, and I feel like we should address it. We woke up at 4 a.m. I said let's wake up at 4:30. We leave the house at 5, but no, someone wanted to wake up at 4 because he wanted to still continue packing. I won't say who. As he was packing, he wasn't getting anything. We packed, woke me up. I got ready. We were ready to go. We got to the airport, and there was 3 gate agents. There's 3 agents, checking people in, and we basically held one for an hour.
Why is that?
There's 2. Well, someone had an invalid passport, right?
No, that's not the case. So right now, Mexico has this law that if you're Venezuelan, you have to have a visa to go there.
Right.
And thank you. I love how Latinos, we love each other so much. I don't need a Mexican visa if I have an American visa, but my American visa is in a different passport.
Right.
My current passport, the one I used to travel,
Is valid.
it's valid and it's working, but my American visa is on an expired passport that I had. And they didn't really put it on it wasn't very obvious while I was reading the exemptions to travel to Mexico. So when I got there, she said, oh, you can't travel because your visa is in a different passport. And I'm like, oh my God, both passports are filled with Mexican stamps because I've been to Mexico 30
Right.
times, but still they don't give a flying fuck. So unfortunately, I find morning they say you have to go back home because you're not going to Mexico.
They said that he could have flown there, but there's a huge chance of him getting denied.
And you remember in 2020 when I went to Portugal and they didn't let me back in the United States. So I had to go to Mexico for 15 days. And I am
That was
scarred.
different because that was COVID, and they have these really weird rules.
The life of an immigrant is
I wouldn't
not
know.
easy.
I wouldn't know, but
Yeah,
I
so
kind of actually do know because I'm dating one, and I kind of feel like I get the same.
Dating?
Yeah, dating one.
Mm.
Yeah, in a relationship with one
Oh, okay.
for 7 long years.
So what would you guys have done?
What would
you
right?
stay with your loved one and your dog, or you go alone to Mexico?
Let me just make it clear that I had an obligation with a friend who invited us to this property, and I felt like if we both canceled, it wasn't like we were just visiting the property. There was an event happening at the property, so the event isn't being moved, and I felt like she was relying on 2 influencers to be there, among other influencers, of course. So I couldn't just say, hey, I'm not going to go.
There's always an excuse.
You know what? And it was so peaceful and it was so amazing and I have 0 regrets.
Oh, I didn't have a peaceful weekend. That's why I'm like this, because
Let me also say that,
I lost my boys.
yeah.
That much I did.
Wow, good for you. I'm
Yeah,
so happy
I
that you
had
had
fun.
such a great time.
Long nights.
I will say that let me tell you about the weekend.
Okay, sorry, I sound angry. I'm not angry. I'm just a little under the weather. Okay, let me change my mood.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's about time. I feel like change it. Turn the page. Turn a leaf.
Change boyfriend. That's what you need to do.
Oh, gosh. I try to many times.
No one is paying attention to you, I know.
No, it's too much work. I realized after having one relationship, like I don't think I ever want to be in another relationship because of how much.
So hard to top this.
It's just so much work.
Not that you top, anyways.
Okay. You little shit. Anyways, moving on. So I stayed at the Atero, an auberge resort. Atero, sorry. Atero, an auberge resort in Riviera Maya.
Luxury.
It was so luxury. I did not know how. I mean, I knew it was going to be nice, but the photos do no justice to it. It was so beautiful. It has this like calm spirit within the property. I've never had such a calm experience on a hotel. It was so incredible.
Would you recommend?
I would 1,000,000,000% recommend it. And not only that, I would also tell everyone to spend at least a full day at the spa. That's what I did. Because like they have a whole experience. Like you go in, steam, sauna, clay, this like crazy like
Did a
shower.
guy give you a massage or a girl?
A guy gave me a massage.
Oh,
yeah.
Of course.
And he was amazing, actually.
He was so sweet. What were you going to say?
So sweet.
Sexy?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't my type, but he was.
Why you don't like Mexican guys?
Okay, can we not get into that right now? He was amazing.
That's racist.
Okay, can we I didn't say anything, so he was incredible.
Good. Props. What's his name? Did he pay you a visit later in your room?
I forget his name, but he was really nice. Anyways, that place, I would definitely recommend it. 3 days tops. It was perfect. And I also made a really cool friend. Her name's Ashley. She's a former stylist, and she was so much fun. And like, it was just, her friend didn't come on the trip. My boyfriend didn't come on the trip. So it was just like, we were a couple and we just hung out the whole time. It was amazing.
Good. All right. Happy for you. Okay. So next
on our list of things that we're going to talk about besides bashing Christian, is I actually read.
Did you see that now you can buy your verification badge on Instagram?
Oh my God. Yeah, I did notice that. And everyone's like, there's so many influencers that are like posting like, oh, got my verification badge. Like, did you buy it? Or are you like, I mean,
it's okay.
I don't, what are your thoughts?
No, it's fine. I mean, I feel like Meta realized that there's like, money there, because I feel like people on Twitter are buying their verification badges, and there's money there that you can make. They are charging how much? Like $12, $14 a month?
$12 a month. Hold on, wait. I want to bring up the number.
I hope they don't take mine away and make me pay for it.
I know that. I thought they were going to do that.
I thought they were going to do that to us. That we have it already.
I mean, it kind of lost its coolness for a while. I feel like I think it's going to lose its like cool. Like everyone has it now. So like, is it cool to have a verification badge? I feel like it's almost cooler not to have one.
No, that is not true.
Like, I thought it was.
I mean, when I got it, how long ago? It was like a year after you. At least it was
it's been 7 years.
It gave you like credibility in the industry, and like people took it more seriously.
Yeah.
And like it was harder to get it because you have to show proof that you're someone.
Yeah, I remember like when Instagram, I got it. I remember getting it from Instagram, and they said that at the time my Instagram handle was the Metro Man, and I think they told me that there was an LLC brand associated with that name, and it was like a grooming brand, and they said we can't give you verification for it, you have to change your name. And I changed my name to it, and then they asked to send like a couple press clips along the way, and I did, and within like 24 hours I got approved.
No, it happened to me too.
It was exactly 7 years ago.
Good. I remember
it was
getting
like
very jealous when you got it. I was so angry.
It was the first week it was like the first month we met. I remember.
It was very recent, I know. And Marcel got it too at the same time.
Yeah, Marcel got it at the same time as well.
Marcy, if you're listening.
We love Marcy. Yeah.
But yeah, well, I mean, sure, why not? But it's a lot of money. Not everybody can afford, I feel, like $150 a year for just a blue tick on your... What are the perks of it? To have it besides looking like you're important.
I think like your comments show up higher. And I think like people... Like your comments show higher. And I don't know, I guess like when you... DM someone, they'll show up. I don't know. I feel like,
ooh, he's verified. He must be important.
Sometimes like I'll go see who follows me, and like I'll just scroll through like really quick just to see if there's any blue checks, and then I'll check. But now like I'm like, I don't know, maybe Taylor Swift's gonna follow me one day. So I was like, oh, like I found her, like she followed.
You're so superficial.
Not superficial. I was just like curious to know like who follows you. Don't you go through your followers sometimes and like check out their profiles?
But talking about Instagram, like what you read also about that like
this
law that they're trying to pass in France.
Oh, wait, let me pull it up. Hold on 1 minute. So it's France, if anyone's heard, the French government is proposing legislation that would require influencers to label content augmented with filters or retouching, as well as ban them from promoting plastic surgery as part of paid partnerships.
I mean, that makes sense. You have to have some ethic when you are like promoting like beauty products. You can't.
I think that plastic surgery, it's a business. And I think people that are targeted those ads are
But wait.
interested.
Like, it's if you Facetune your face a little bit and you put that picture on, you have to put it on like
I guess.
like
I don't know what
disclosure. Hey, I use Facetune to make myself look a little better because I had a rough night the night before or something like that.
I feel like I could only imagine that that's probably the case. Like that's
Yeah, but okay, why only influencer? Why not everybody else?
You know what? You're right. Why not everybody else? Everyone that uses Facetune should be.
If we're
obliged.
lying, everybody's lying. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's an influencer at some level. If you're in social media, even if you have even 100 followers,
You're
I
influencing someone.
don't know. I don't think it's fair. So now that I do it, I don't care. I'll Photoshop the hell out of this beautiful
Gorgeousness.
face. But I don't think it's fair just for influencer, unless there's like you read there, like if you're gonna be promoting like beauty treatments, yeah, well, show your actual face. Don't like Facetune it because that's not achievable, I feel. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I feel the France thing is a little.
it's controversial.
It's controversial. I don't know. I feel like, who cares? Like, I feel like France has so many other problems. Like, they're focusing on this.
Exactly, like here with the, I don't want to talk about it, but there's so many. They have all these people on the streets fighting for the right to like retire early.
Right.
And they are talking about influencer faces.
Like, I feel like they have other problems.
Okay. So
I guess like we could talk about today's topic. This episode, we're going to focus on how we became influencers and basically influencer culture. What has it become? How has it evolved from where we started, from all that stuff? I feel like just because this isn't my favorite topic to talk about, but I feel like there's a lot of people that want to know.
This is your favorite topic to talk about. This is all you want to give, like.
Actually, you're right. My favorite
You
thing...
want to give a masterclass on this. You want to make money out of it.
My favorite thing I like talking about is me.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us, Moti. When did you start?
Well, I started back in my day. I started exactly 12 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 12 years ago I started.
You're an OG in New York City.
And at the time, like, I was working at a company, whatever it is. Like, we don't know what what was gonna happen. I posted.
You're not allowed to say?
No, okay, yeah. I worked at GQ at the time.
Okay.
And I was working there full time.
You were an intern.
I was started as an intern, then I landed a full time position as a assistant, and then the assistant to the creative director. Very Devil Wears Prada. But that wasn't I was juggling two jobs because at the time I was making more money off my Instagram than I was at GQ. Okay, wait. Let me go back. Okay, so at the time, I thought like being consistent and just posting as much as I can was like the goal. And now it's just like, and finding a niche, like I just did fashion outfits. I posted that and it was just like very specific. Now it's just like, if you ask me what to do, like I can't tell you. Like, I don't know I can't tell you how to grow. All I know is just like you throw everything on the wall and then whatever sticks, you run with it. That's it. Like if you want to try fashion, travel, cooking, whatever you want, giving tips and tricks on how to keep your plants alive, like, I don't know. Like, you could do everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be famous for the sake of being famous, or you really are passionate about something, then you should stick to it.
Exactly. And then now with TikTok and YouTube Reels.
Hey, but you're moving away from the main subject. Tell us. Okay, 12 years ago, you were juggling with two jobs.
Oh, yeah, juggling two jobs. I then got offered to be a fashion editor at Bloomberg, which was launching.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of major. They were launching this luxury magazine. They were bringing a bunch of people from the industry. It felt like the Justice League. They were just bringing a bunch of these like leaders from the industry from different parts of
Who
different
were you
fields.
working with?
I was working with Chris Rovzar, Nick Screws, who we love, Hannah Elliott. There was Tejal, who's like a huge New York Times critic, which was, I don't know, it was awesome, like working with all these people because they're so respected in their field. And
you think that helped you have some kind of
credibility? Yeah, for sure. I definitely think so.
As an influencer?
Absolutely. I think like that was my edge. Like I was both a editor and influencer at the time. Well, they called us bloggers, by the way. They didn't call us influencers.
I remember all the stories that you keep telling me that when you went on the press trips with editors, they all hated you.
Yeah, you know what? I went on a couple press trips with editors, and I just felt like they always rolled their eyes when like they saw me shooting and things. And
Look who's laughing now.
Look who's laughing
now. All the
now.
press trips are influencers.
All those
editors.
editors are now are literally influencers now. They're all influencers. It's crazy. They would all laugh at us, but you know what? We had the last laugh.
I think things are switching back to having more editors than influencers on press trips.
I don't think so. Like first of all, magazines are going down. What are you talking about? Magazines are going down, and not only that, like I remember when fashion magazines had teams of 20. Now they have teams of 2. Like literally, you see 2 fashion editors. Yeah. I remember when GQ would sit in the front row at Louis Vuitton. They'd have like 8 editors in the front row. Now they have like 2. Now they have like the editor in chief. Like it's changed. Things have changed. There's obviously new reaches through Instagram and through TikTok.
I remember meeting you when you were working for Bloomberg.
Yeah.
You used to FaceTime me in the back.
Yeah, I had this little
you used to
like
waste
closet.
your time there, the whole like 3
Honestly,
hours FaceTiming me.
Don't tell people that because then they're gonna know I didn't do anything. No, I'm kidding. We had a little closet there, and I mean, for the most part, there wasn't that much to do.
Moti.
Yeah, we love to stay in the closet there. Shut up. Anyways, after that, the thing that I liked about Bloomberg is it was like a part-time job. Can you shut up?
Sorry.
Wow, look who's like no longer cranky.
I feel like shit, but look.
Wow, you're still hungover.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, what I liked about Bloomberg was it gave me the opportunity to like it was a part-time job, so I was able to bridge myself to being a full-time influencer through that. You know, it allowed me to feel more confident and comfortable.
So what were you doing? You were just taking pictures of your cute outfits?
Right, I was doing my
posting.
outfits, I was putting my blog.
What was your first paid gig?
My first paid gig, wow.
How much you made?
I honestly think it was Xenia. It was Xenia, and I remember, like, first of all, Christian and I ran back in the day for the influencers today to walk. Is that how you say that saying?
Yes.
Is that how that saying is?
It's like Madonna helped Miley get where she is.
Exactly. Like, I remember telling a brand that, oh, like, here's my rate. It was like $500 at the time. And like, there's a lot of work that goes behind each photo. Like, you need to find the location, you need to style it, you need to shoot it, you need to edit it, you need to write, you need to this. There's like, you're basically a magazine, but there's no team. You're the only team member.
And back in the day, there was like just 3 of us doing the same.
There was literally like 5 male influencers in New York at the time. So when Xenia reached out to me and they asked me for, you know,
what year are we talking about?
This was maybe in 2014, or maybe before, 2013, maybe 7 years ago. I don't remember. I'll find out, but it was like a long time ago. And they reached out to me. They wanted to send me a pair of shoes, or like they wanted this. I remember it was like a technical collection, and they wanted to post it. They want me to post it 3 different times. There was no video at the time. There was just photos.
And I need money for this.
No, so I'm like, hey, like, you know, like I was negotiating myself, and I remember they offered me like $300 for it, and I took it.
You
obviously.
were like,
I'm like, oh, finally, like someone's paying. Like it was kind of nice.
It's exciting when you get paid for the first time.
Yeah, it was really exciting, and I mean, it was nice because like you put a lot of work and effort behind these images. The brand uses the images as well, so like there wasn't even a social team at the time. I feel like brands didn't even have social teams at the time. So you're basically doing all this free work for them. And I think like it obviously paid off, but it was like pulling teeth for asking for money for any brand. They're like, oh no, we don't see the value of this. Like we don't pay anyone.
I know, I remember you started like...
And how things change. Now today, like they don't even come to an influencer without a budget.
That's not true. Sometimes
you know what?
brands tell you that it's a privilege to work for them.
You know what? Noah Beck does not know the struggle influencers went through.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of kids that are still struggling to get somewhere. But yeah, we both did the same. Like in my case,
what was your first? Oh well, tell everyone like you were.
Everybody knows the Caribbean King.
Christian was a huge.
Was a huge success in the Caribbean.
He was a huge success. He had a huge.
In Aruba.
What was it? A Vogue cover.
So I started posting pictures of my everyday life in Aruba. I remember because I had such a beautiful background and I was just taking pictures by the beach in my Speedos,
Mm-hmm.
just enjoying life, and everybody kept thinking, oh, he's like this rich guy that has no job, and I was working for a PR agency. Shout out to Terra Group. And then I was like taking my pictures during the weekends, or sometimes during my lunch break, I used to go and snap a picture and come back, and but I remember that I was posting 3 times a day.
Yeah.
I had to have like a full body, I had to have a close up, and I had to have a landscape. But this is 2011, 2012 when Instagram was starting.
Right. And consistency was key, I feel.
Yeah, I feel like that was it. And like you, because you said it one day, you remember those top 5, top 10 influencers or guys to follow?
That's what I meant to
entertainment television or BuzzFeed, and I was always featured on them. Every time I got a feature from BuzzFeed, it's like you grew 10,000 followers.
Yep.
And that's how I gained a big following, I feel.
That was my turning point. My turning point was I had maybe 10 or 20,000 followers at the time. And I remember when, Huffington Post wrote the 10 hottest guys on Instagram right now. And I'm like, me?
Yeah. And you remember when the beard was a thing back in the day?
Right,
I had this big, bushy, long beard. And I was featured as the lumber sexual, whatever. Yeah. And those shout-outs back in the day used to work. Right now, none of those.
Yeah, none of those work.
You have to have a Netflix show in order to maybe gain a following now.
Yeah, I agree. Or a podcast. Who knows?
Don't get your hopes too high.
I remember what was...
Anyway, but from there, I gained a following, and then... PRs from brands in the Caribbean. Once the influencer thing started happening, it took me places. I remember the first thing that I did.
What was your favorite thing that you've ever done through your...
Well, one of the most amazing things, I remember Louis Vuitton flew me to Mexico to get a whole editorial shot by Vogue.
Yeah.
Or Vogue Hombre. That was huge, unheard of. It's at the beginning of influencers that I wasn't a famous model or a famous actor, nothing. I was just an influencer posting.
You were a Vogue cover girl.
Picture. No, I didn't get the cover, but another Venezuelan guy got the cover. What's his name? Edgar Ramirez was the cover of the magazine. But I had a whole
spread,
2-page spread,
which is amazing.
And Warren Vuitton, that was chic.
That is really amazing.
I remember also doing something for GQ Mexico there, but I don't know what happened because they didn't like it and they never run it.
Oh, they nixed it.
I don't know. They did. Happened. I think I made the mistake to go to a barber shop there to get my beard done, and they completely ruined it. So I think they said, no, this kid, I don't care. I'm sure that was it. Anyway, but that was it. Then I already had my reputation, my name, and then what happened? The Dolce & Gabbana influencer runway show in Milan that I was lucky to attend.
And walk the show.
And
I was there in the audience.
And that big St. Bart's campaign also happened.
Oh, yeah.
And so I did a few amazing things.
Yeah.
Also, the America's Cup. I was shot here in Coney Island. I think I mentioned that before.
Okay, I said just one thing. What was your favorite thing? Not your favorite
Shut up,
thing.
but this is I just get so excited because that doesn't happen. Well, yeah, we still do pretty amazing things. But back in the day, just seeing someone from the internet rise and do all these things that only celebrities were doing at the time. You couldn't help but feel important and get a big head. And I was very pretentious back in the day.
Yeah, you were. Well, you still are.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. And that's how
I can't even think what my favorite thing
moved to the United States thanks to all those little amazing things that I did as an influencer. But it was posting every day. There was no algorithm.
There was no algorithm.
And
remember the popular page?
Yeah, well, I don't remember being featured there.
I think I was on the popular page once, and you have to get a certain amount of likes in a certain amount of time, and then it says, "Oh, your photo just made it to the popular page."
Yeah, I remember that.
I thought that was kind of cool.
That was kind of
Instagram should bring back the popular page.
Anyway, so for what would you advise to kids that are trying to do this? Would you recommend Instagram to be a platform or TikTok to be the main platform, or a mix of both? Or because it's amazing how you still get asked, hey, I want to be famous, what can I do? And I'm like, you're asking me, you should be asking one of those TikTokers that had 40 million followers, but they only dancing like monkeys, so I don't know if that's the key.
I mean, I don't think all of them are dancing like monkeys, but anyways.
They are all lip syncing.
I think there's this, back in the day, I had a full-time job and I juggled an Instagram account and blog. At the time there was a blog. I mean, I don't have a blog anymore, but and multiple social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook was a thing.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. I was posting on Twitter as well. I don't think, I think for success, you need to be on all of them. You need to be consistent with all of them.
But should be TikTok. Like, you need to share the same content in all of them, or you need to have a special content for.
Honestly, like, how do you know how? I'm sure followings do overlap, but people that follow you on TikTok probably don't follow you on Instagram, and people that follow you on YouTube Shorts probably don't follow you on TikTok. So like, you could recycle content. You could also if you make multiple different pieces.
I feel like it's boring if you post the same TikTok that you post or you same reels, and I'm like, oh, why am I following this guy in both accounts? You should have like a different content. Like, I'm a little more like, I post more risky things on my TikTok than I will do.
What if one of them goes viral on one and not the other? So then you'd lose the opportunity of going viral.
Yeah, well, you're right.
I say, like,
that's an advice that you will give to people.
I would say recycle content and get on everything. If you're on YouTube, Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, posting all.
And
also,
don't cut me. Next time you cut me,
the amount of times that you cut me off, I will fucking cut you. The amount of times that I have to say I will fucking cut you on the show.
Okay, what were you going to say? That was so important.
Now I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Christian.
me too. Okay, moving on to the next subject.
No. TikTok, Instagram. What was it?
I don't know, but we lost our train of thought
because someone's being rude.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that if you need to be on all the platforms and you need to post on everything, and you should recycle your content, because if you go viral on TikTok for one thing that doesn't go viral on Instagram, then that's the beauty of it. Yeah, and also you have to focus on, this is what I wanted to say, you need to focus on video. Video is the most important thing right now, as I realized.
Oh, I remember how easy it was before, just taking a beautiful picture and that was it.
Just take a quick photo, unedited, there was no filters, there was nothing. There was just the Instagram filters, boop, posted.
I used to Photoshop everything.
Yeah, well, you did, I didn't.
I used to make that fantasy life come to life, because I feel like at the time people wanted to see beautiful things. Right now, I think more raw content, more real content, more is what works.
Yeah.
I know my friend Zachary Wise will say otherwise. He always said that you should put effort behind your content instead of just being raw and natural. But I think depending because I feel like younger kids want to see more real content than or what would you say?
I feel like it's called Instagram for instant, and you should be somewhat. I think that you need to offer value with your posts. Like, if I'm gonna just see a pretty photo, okay, what value do I get from it besides it being a pretty photo? If it's a beautiful hotel, plus you're including some information in the caption where you're giving me the location, you're giving me the pros and cons of it, or just the pros, at least I'm learning something and I know something. Or if you're a cook and you're giving me a recipe, that's something valuable that I'm getting. Or in fashion.
So you don't believe that any just a beautiful picture of a hot guy, it's enough? Because I see those having the most likes and then being the most shared. Sex, Instagram claims that they are not sexually explicit, but everything that you see thriving and living on the explore page is half naked women and half naked men. Yeah,
but some of them are not really working with the brands that we want to align ourselves with. We want to align ourselves with the big designers. They're not working with the big designers. We don't see that. So I think, yeah, of course those guys are hot and they're doing great.
You follow a vast amount of them.
They're all my close, deep friends that I know for years, just like you. You love to say that. Yeah, Christian loves to say this is my friend Charlie, who I never met, but we followed each other on Instagram for 10 years.
That's how we met. Then look at us. We have 8 years together.
Well, we met though.
Good. Okay, moving on. If you want to be an influencer, don't find a real job.
No,
I do miss my 9 to 5.
Well, you could go to that 9 to 5. I think being an influencer is obviously the most easiest job. People are like, oh, it's so hard. It's really not that hard. It's just if you need it's a lot of work if you want to if you're good at it and you
have to have that X factor, I feel also.
Yeah, you need to have that X factor, and you need to be open-minded to learning things, because if you don't know, I remember teaching myself how to use a DSLR camera. I taught myself, Marcel taught me a lot as well. Shout out Marcel again. He did teach me a lot. But I also taught myself through Photoshop. I never.
You need to take dance lessons so you can do those choreography lessons. And maybe.
I'm a savage.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very old already. You see, things are in and out.
Okay, so
what do you think? Like, do you think? Well, also another thing that we want to talk about with the influencer life. Once you guys do start, I do have an agent. Christian doesn't have an agent.
You are my agent.
I am Christian's agent. There are pros and cons when it comes to agents. I feel like I get this asked all the time. Like, oh, like, do I need an agent? Should I get a manager? Like, oh, let me tell you something. Like, an agent will work for you when you bring them work. Like, you need to have a demand out there already. If you don't have a demand for you out there, then they're not going to be able to bring you opportunities if you're not getting opportunities. If you're having a hard time getting opportunities right now, they're not bringing you opportunities. Like, the best thing that I think with my agent, who I love, is that he is a shark. He knows my value. He fights for my value, and he gets me rates that I've never gotten ever. So that's like a huge pro.
Yeah, well, you on the other hand are not a very good shark. You're like a dolphin.
I'm like a dolphin. I get you whatever I can.
Yeah.
I'm a shark for you. How dare you?
You're a dolphin.
I'm a little shark for you.
You're going to have to do better.
Every time I try to go a little higher for you.
But at least I don't have to give you 10%.
Yeah. I'm actually going to
give you something else.
Yeah. You give me a headache. That's what you give me. Okay. Well,
so don't get an agent unless you're already thriving and making millions of dollars.
Exactly.
Like Moti and Kari.
Right, exactly. If you're making billions and billions, then you'll be able to
I never had an agent. I never had an agent.
I had an agent.
I always manage myself, and you help me.
I've been managing you for 7 years now.
You're writing some emails sometimes.
Sometimes, maybe like 99% of the times.
Good.
And I remember do you remember? You can tell them.
What?
Christian used to charge $100 for a photo.
Well, you got $300. What's the difference?
That was back in the day.
Hey, that was back in the day.
No, that was just when we first met.
Well, I was living in Latin America. Things are different.
But I was like, Christian,
still people down there charge way less. It's just Americans that we charge an insane amount of money, because you still see Europeans, especially in the UK, getting shit money from posts that we charge 5 times more here.
Well, you know what? Rent is 5 times more here, so we need to ask for more.
True.
Okay? If we want to live in New York, we're gonna ask for more.
I need more tea.
Get it up and get it yourself. Okay.
Okay, are we done here? No.
You're so annoying.
No, it's fine. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, but it's been a great conversation. I feel like the best that came out of this influencer life that we used to enjoy is not only getting to know the world and going to amazing fashion shows. And look what it brought me.
I know.
Brought me my dog.
Yeah.
Because thanks to it, I met you, and thanks to you, I got my dog.
Yeah.
And there's
You're
always
welcome.
a reason why things happen.
Exactly. I'm heading to Miami tonight, which is very exciting.
I hate that this show. It's not you won't hear this till next week.
You won't hear this
because I'm gonna be alone in my apartment for a whole week. So.
I'll be back by then. By the time that this episode is live, I'm going to be back
Damn
home.
it.
Yeah. So you've had to you really need to plan ahead of time.
Yeah. I should have done it on the second episode. Tell everybody that was gonna be here alone. So if someone wanted to entertain me, since you so often decide to leave me alone.
I'm going for Passover with my family.
Oh,
I'm not the most excited to be spending 7 days not eating bread or pasta or
Passover,
wheat or oatmeal
Easter.
And it's Easter as well on Sunday. What are you doing for Easter, Christian?
I'm gonna be hopping around.
Oh, you're gonna be hopping around.
Gay bars in New York City.
Wow, that's such a fun little festive.
That's a lie. I only go to one. Okay, so tell me about Passover for those that don't know what Passover is.
Well,
besides eating matzah, which I hate.
Yeah, I hate matzah too. But, Passover is a Jewish holiday, for those who didn't know. And it is the story about Egypt, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't really, I know the story. It's the...
You should edit this out, Moti, because you're losing credibility by the second not knowing
let
what
me edit
Passover
this out.
is.
Okay. Let's
just talk about Easter.
No, let's go back, because I'm gonna take that
You're
back.
a Jewish warrior and
Of
don't
course.
know what Passover is?
Okay, let's go back.
Go on,
Sorry.
Google.
Okay, stop. I know what Passover is. Passover. Okay, let me edit that out, because actually
Okay,
you're
let's
right.
just talk about the Easter bunny. While you figure it out.
I know what to say. Let me just cut that part and then we'll continue.
No, you need to leave this part because this is the best. That's what people will laugh about. Not you saying what
First of
Passover
all,
is.
I know what Passover is. It's the holiday where
You eat matzah.
Yeah, you eat matzah, but it's also about it's the celebration of the Jews leaving Egypt because we were slaves in Egypt, and Moses saved us and brought us.
And you worked for how many years?
40 years.
Is that
in the desert?
I don't know. Till you find your land.
And this is like where they split the ocean, and they split the river, and like the 10 plagues, and all that stuff.
Isn't it the Dead Sea that they split?
No, it wasn't the Dead Sea.
It's the Red Sea.
It's the Red Sea.
The Black Sea.
I
don't know. I'm not Jewish.
I don't know.
I can tell you all about Jesus Christ. Ask me.
I think it was like Egypt to what's called Israel today, like that river. Oh, maybe it was the Nile River.
Maybe we can Google it if you want.
Okay, let me see. Hold on.
So Jesus died for our sins.
Okay. You don't even know. Why do we celebrate Easter?
I don't know why you call it Easter, but where I come from, we don't call it Easter. And it's, I don't know either. We just celebrate that Jesus Christ he died for our sins, and then he was reborn.
Christian, you were right. Moses split the Red Sea.
I told you.
How did you learn that, from the nanny?
I might have been from, another sitcom.
Another Jewish sitcom that taught you so much about Judaism. Christian knows so much about Judaism. I was so impressed.
I know, because I love Yiddish. I want to learn Yiddish more than I want to learn Hebrew.
I mean, I don't speak Yiddish, so I can't really tell you, but I know a couple words.
Aren't you surprised and happy that I know so much about your culture?
Honestly,
or your religion, because
I am. Just the next thing you got to do is just snip, snip, and then you're a Jew.
You're giving away something here. Don't tell everybody.
I don't think I'm giving away anything. Everyone
people know what
people
you're
pretty much
about.
know.
I'm Latino.
There's no exactly.
Let's not talk about
okay.
Let's in public.
Let's not talk about that. You're right.
Okay. So Passover. So you're going to Miami.
I'm going to Miami. It's definitely one of my least liked holidays. I like Yom Kippur even more, and that's the one that you don't even eat. But it's just one day. Like Passover is like 8 days, and there's like you can't eat out, and I'm very strict. Like I don't go have a salad somewhere, even though like the salad is kosher for Passover technically, but it's not.
Aren't you going out with Julian in Miami?
I am going out.
Twist.
Oh yeah, I am. I need a night out.
Very strict, I see.
But you're allowed to like drink. Like I could have Tito's.
You can only have Patron, no? Silver Patron, that is kosher.
Right. There's like I think Patron, and then I think Tito's vodka, because it's like made out of potatoes. Because vodka is normally wheat, and it's not. You need like a gluten-free.
Isn't a Ciroc made of grapes? You could have that too.
I don't.
There's a bunch of options.
There's a bunch. I don't think there's a bunch of options, but there's a couple options, and I'll be fine.
Is that religious holiday? Why are you thinking about alcohol and twist?
Well, you're supposed to like. First of all, that's not on my mind. You're the one that brought it up, and second,
because I want to bring some light on your lies. Because I know you how often you say you're not doing anything, and then you just disappear. Because he doesn't even share his location with me.
I'm not sure
after 8 years. Because apparently I'm not worthy of having his location.
I don't share my location with anyone.
Because I have found him in very random places at 4 a.m.
Well, then what were you doing there?
Looking, where were you? Looking.
Oh, you were
I was
looking
a psychopath back in the day, and I needed to know where he was at all times.
Back in the day?
And
nothing changed really.
We have opened a lot of doors since those days, my friend, 5 years ago. So
okay, 5 years ago, right. He's still a psychopath.
Anyway, don't lie to people. You're just going to have fun there.
I am going to go have fun. I'm not hiding anything. I'm telling you right now here to your face on this podcast, I am going to Miami to have a great time. I'm going to be there for the holidays, but I'll also be going out.
And that was the miracle of the Passover?
And that was the miracle of Passover. It was to go out and have a great time.
Okay.
Well, you are supposed to drink on the holiday. I know that you drink a lot of wine. There's like 4 glasses of wine, so you got to drink. Okay, so this is our episode. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Happy Easter, happy Passover. See you guys next week.
Happy Passover. I know you guys have one more day. Hold on. You guys are almost there at the end. And we will
be back with more Bickering
next week. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, on TikTok at Bickering Podcast, at Moti and Kari, at Christian Bendek. Come chat with us. Come bicker with us. It's going to be a great time. And we'll see you next week.